In music, you can't be playing all the time. Sometimes you might need to take a break, let other instruments play, or whatever. But to indicate silence in music, we use rests. And for most notes I use, there is a rest equivalent. A whole rest is a rectangle that hangs below the staff line, like that. Now I emphasize below the staff line because a half rest is very similar, but it's a rectangle that is above the staff line. So a whole rest hangs below the staff line like a hole in the ground. A half rest is this rectangle that's above the staff line. Now luckily a quarter note rest looks completely different. It's kind of a squiggly line that doesn't look like that at all, but I'm not an artist. But look in your book to see a more accurate description of what a quarter note rest looks like. Now, what a rest in music serves the same function. You can fill it up with a combination of note values. It works the same in the time signature. If you have a 4/4 time signature, you still have to have 4 beats. So you could have 3 quarter notes and a quarter note rest, a half note and a half rest, etc., etc. But it can be used to fill up space within a measure as well. Now, one exception to that is that the whole rest can actually indicate an entire measure of silence. So, for instance, if you're in 4/4 and you wanted an entire measure of silence, then you could, of course, use the whole note rest. But if you're in 3/4, you could also use the whole rest to indicate an entire measure of silence, instead of using a combination of the half note rest and the quarter note rest. Likewise, in 2/4, you would also use this whole rest to indicate an entire measure of silence. So that's one thing to be aware of. It's just one of those things that actually just makes it easier when you're writing music, believe it or not. All right, so do some practice with this, and then we'll talk about some more rhythm in the next lesson.